Sure why. I think it should Turbert's Tresler probably, because he caught on the second row. He hasn't scored too many points. But anyway, we'll wait and see how Neil does from the front here. But it's Chadders and Robin Webb on the front row of the grid. Dan Heron might be good value for money here in car number 2. He's already had a second place at Knock Hill this year. But it's going to be lights out and we're ready to go. Look at Neil Tresler. He's going to the wide outside line. Now, is this going to be to overtake or perhaps avoid some melee at the first corner? Through they go. Chadwick side by side, but Robin Webb leads. Robin Webb in 24 leads from Colin Chadwick. Neil Tresler in third place. Then it's Dan Heron in the white number 2 car, looking down the inside of Tresler. Can he pull it off? There's Lawrence Davey in 19, already getting his bumper stuck in there is Lawrence. But look at Robin Webb, great to see Webb leading round the first corner. In fact, he's led through the first 3 or 4 corners, a major boost for him.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled to see Robin at the front. This is his first full season as a Legends driver. Couldn't meet a nicer chap, and I'm absolutely thrilled for him. Although Chadwick's just slipped round on the inside. Yeah,
nice. Oh, and spin! Spin for Turbo Tresler. Well, it was Turbot Tresler, wasn't it, in the end? Poor old Neil has gone off, and Belcher's gone as well. There's all sorts of melee. Rob Rackstraw's off, one of the turns off, Ollie Poyser's off, and there's Gerald McCosh's off as well. Oh, Joanna Clark in car number 5, and Neil just putting it in gear, trying to rejoin. Oh, it looks like he's steering.
He's got a steering problem there, hasn't he? Yes, he's not going to get back on. Well, that involved just about everybody. There's Simon Belcher at the back of it. And, well, it would be a shorter list to say who wasn't involved.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Here we go, another onboard. I think it's one of the Clark cars. Oh, a little tap into one of the turns there. All really completely unavoidable. Rob Rackstraw doing a majorly fast pirouette there. There's Joanna Clark stranded on the outside. There's Rackstraw's pirouette once again. Ends up facing the right way, so he will rejoin down the back end of the field. But up front, it's still Chadwick and Webb. Howled at it, hammer and tongs here. And Webb going to the outside. Lawrence Davey coming through on the inside in 19. Davey surely will go second here. Quite doesn't take any prisoners, does he? Pushes Robin Webb wide there, forced Webb wide. Up into second place, and up into third now has come Steve Thompson. Thompson from the back of the field, bump drafting Lawrence Davey there. Across the line they go, and Thompson is on a real mission here in 41.
Yeah, he got a 5th in one of the earlier races, already had 4 wins this season, and of course a man with a lot of experience in past years in Legends.
Yeah, Thompson well placed here, isn't he? But he's got one of the Traherne brothers breathing all over him, and that's Steve Traherne in 39, who's chasing him through. Pete Morton there in 32 as well, as Robin Webb goes wide. Let's Pete Morton through, but Chadwick leading. Colin Chadwick here, we said he was learning Legends well, and oh, get a big sideways movement from Chadders there, and is that going to let Lawrence Davey through? Davey is through, I think, into lead, but Chadwick is fighting back. Good stuff from Colin Chadwick here. He made a mistake, but it was a damage limitation exercise. He held on to it, but he's still in second place. He was fighting back with Lawrence there, looks down the inside, in fact. So Chadwick fighting for the lead of Lawrence Davey, but Davey is still there. Coming up into second place is going to be Steve Thompson, but no, Chadwick's coming through, and so is Pete Morton. 3 abreast as they come up to Taylor's. Morton around the outside, Chadwick in the sky blue number 8 car, and Lawrence Davey down the inside, as does Steve Thompson, as does Stephen Traherne, but it's still Lawrence Davey out front.
Yeah, we've got a 6-way battle for the lead. Join us after the break to see how this all pans out. Welcome back to the final of round 11 of the Corgi Legends Cars Championship, with Lawrence Davey leading. Let's rejoin commentator Richard John Neal.
Thanks, Keith. We're on lap 3 of a scheduled 10 laps here at Knock Hill. Davey leading, Colin Chadwick there in second place. Pete Morton locking up big time there. Morton, Steve Traherne in the mix as well, plus Steve Thompson have all started mid-grid. They had pretty mediocre heats, and that meant they didn't score very well. They started mid-grid, but Lawrence Davey going very wide there, and Chadwick's going to have a look up the inside. Steve Thompson as well, tags Chadwick. Chadwick went wide, Thompson was going to look up the inside. They've taken each other off. They lost a few.